hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. Well, brothers and sisters, get your pointing fingers ready and prepare your heartiest of guffaws, because our favorite scumbag coffin surfer just got some bad news. David Hogg, the high priest of performative gun control, tried to ride his grief-flavored celebrity wave straight into the Democratic National Committee's vice chair slot, but wouldn't you know it, the very system he shills for just slammed the brakes on his blue-blooded ambitions. The DNC uses a convoluted process in a secret election to choose their leadership, and it is their business what they do. But to an outsider, it seems clear the reason they just voted 294-99 to redo the election for vice chair is not because David Hogg is an authoritarian control freak who wants to give Donald Trump a monopoly on violence.
Wait, what?
It's not even because Hogg's incessant yammering about gun control loses elections for them. It is because he was pushing loudly to primary candidates in uncontested states. The DNC has a reputation for being run by good old boys and girls these days. They have a history of disregarding the party members and just doing whatever leadership wants, and nothing gets you drop-kicked from the cocktail circuit faster than threatening the unbroken chain of establishment mediocrity.
How dare you!
You don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit in the wind, and you sure as hell don't tell a bunch of DNC lifers that you're coming for their seat at the Hogg slop trough. Hogg thought he was storming the gates. Turns out, he was just knocking on the wrong country club. So now, he's back on Twitter doing what he does best, playing the victim while confusing activism with attention-seeking. Chin up, David. There's always a spot for you at Harvard. Again.
I'm not a smart man.
But hey, it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors. So let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by Springfield Armory.
Imagine a 9mm carbine with roller delay action just like Kraut Space Magic. Now imagine it didn't have garbage ergonomics. The brand new Kuna from Springfield Armory gives you that roller delayed smooth recoil you're looking for with reversible, non-reciprocating charging handle and ambi absolutely everything.
And by 1776 Insurance. Most homeowners' policies only cover up to $2,500 for firearms. Now, I don't know about you, but I've got more than that in just optics. 1776 gives you comprehensive coverage against breakage, theft, fire, and burglary for all of your guns, and you don't have to give them your serial numbers. Picture this. You just defended yourself, the criminal justice system gives you the all clear, but then, bang. You get sued by the family of the guy who just tried to unalive you in front of your own family. That's the loophole Texas House Bill 170, aka Kyle's Law, is intended to close. No, not that Kyle. This law is named after Kyle Carruth, a Lubbock man who shot and killed Chad Reed during a heated custody dispute on Carruth's property. The whole thing was caught on video, a grand jury reviewed it, and ultimately decided not to indict Carruth. The shooting was legally justified, but even after the grand jury returned no bill, Carruth was sued by the mom and wife of the guy who attacked him, Jinx and Jennifer Reed respectively. Now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, this dude's mom is named Jinx, and he allowed his wife to henpeck him into chest-bumping a man carrying a rifle. You can't make this stuff up, folks. In the end, the Harpies took his business and bled him for $500,000.
Double whammy.
Kyle's Law was written to prevent exactly that kind of double jeopardy by proxy, where you're found legally justified but still punished through endless litigation by people who don't like the outcome. If you lawfully use force in self-defense and a grand jury or court says, yep, that was legit, then you are shielded from civil lawsuits like wrongful death claims. Bonus round? You also get to recover your legal fees and lost income too. Kyle's Law has passed the Texas House and it now waits in the Senate State Affairs Committee, which is chaired by Brian Hughes. So please take a moment to call Mr. Hughes at 512-463-0101 and tell him to move HB 170 out for a vote. You'll remember we reported to you after years of labeling forced reset triggers as illegal machine guns, the ATF has settled with rare breed triggers, allowing the return of about 12,000 stolen FRTs and at the same time granting rare breed a sort of semi-pseudo-official monopoly. So the ATF has gone from banning these devices to helping a private company corner the market.
You are most unpredictable.
Now, the attorneys general of 16 states, including California, New Jersey, and Illinois, are suing the federal government over this settlement. They argued that returning the stolen FRTs violates federal law and poses a threat to public safety. Ironically, many of these states already have laws banning such devices. Of course, as you gentlefolk are well aware, forced reset triggers are not machine guns, as these authoritarian AGs claim, at least not under the 1934 legal definition of a machine gun. But what's really fascinating is Fudbusters located a patent which was filed in 1934, just before the NFA was passed, which described a machine gun which worked exactly the way the rare breed FRT works. Of course, there was no statutory definition for a machine gun at that time, so this doesn't change the NFA. The older patent was no more a machine gun under the law than the FRT is, regardless of what the inventor called it. But it does mean rare breed might not have any defense for their own patent.
Yellow card. The unit reversed.
Okay, but are the control freak AGs going to win their suit? Well, that's hard to say. I mean, I'm not a lawyer because there are certain things I would never do for a Klondike bar, but I think they have a pretty decent chance of getting an emergency order prohibiting the ATF from returning the triggers they stole, particularly for the plaintiff states which have bans. What do you guys think? Will Matt Plankton and his band of scumbags win? But if you think banning fart triggers is bad, imagine banning a number, because that's exactly what New York is trying to do with Senate Bill 227A. It would ban the distribution of any computer code which could be used to make practically anything gun-related. That means simply viewing the image you're seeing right now in public could technically make you a criminal.
They never go easy.
Then I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
What you're looking at is 1,097 bytes of spicy civil disobedience, and it represents a gross departure from the values this nation was founded on. See, our founders would never have stood for laws banning the mere possession of an object like a machine gun, let alone possessing one tiny part of it.
Maybe this gun thing would kind of balance that out.
Bingo.
They believed crimes were acts which one did which violated the rights of another man. How could simply possessing something be criminal? But we embraced that notion because Karens bleated about what bad men might hypothetically do with stuff and things. The word Orwellian is gratuitously abused by everyone with a thought about politics, but moving beyond the criminalization of actions and possessions into the criminalization of ideas can be described as nothing other than a thought crime. Yes, Virginia, this is a gross violation of the First Amendment as well as the Second, and they know it. They can't possibly believe this bill could survive a courtroom. And if you think that sounds insane, that's only because it is. This is the logical endpoint of authoritarianism wrapped in gun control drag. But hey, gun control was never about the guns. It was always about the control. And now, for your moment of Zen. Hello, friend. Do you like pews and pew-related things? Would you like to help us keep delivering you pure American pew and at the low prices? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you.